Well, hello everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you here, and a special welcome to those that have tuned in online. There's actually a much bigger audience online than we've got in person. I'm Sandra Lawrenson, one of the volunteer directors of Shetland Tall Ships Ltd. I'm now a tall ships veteran with 25 years of experience, as Lerwick previously hosted the races in 1999 and 2011, as many of you will recall. And I'm really delighted that we're able to bring the races back to Shetland next year. This time around, we're working in a shortened timeline. There's been a year lost due to COVID uncertainty. But it's good to know that the races are back, and this summer there will be a tall ships race in the southern North Sea. Today, we'll show you an introduction to the tall ships races, and it has a wider purpose than the party on the pier that many folk will fondly remember. And we'll also show the opportunities for businesses to be involved. The format for the presentation is you'll hear also from Melanie Henderson from Sail Training Shetland and our project manager, Emma Miller. The presentation will take just over half an hour. By way of introduction, I'll start by telling you a bit about the Tall Ships races. It's a well-known brand owned by Sail Training International. The races started in 1956. This is a picture from that year. The idea was to celebrate the world's remaining large sailing ships. Wind power had given way to the diesel engine, and the vessels were close to retirement. But here we are, 66 years later, power of wind still filling the sails of some magnificent vessels and showing the sustainability of sail travel. The objectives of Sail Training International are threefold. Firstly, the races offer learning through the sail training experience. The focus age group is 15 to 25-year-olds, and there's a requirement for 50% of the crew to be from that age bracket on the race legs in the race series. And thirdly, to promote international friendship and understanding. And it's notable that the main trophy at the end of the race series is the friendship trophy that's voted for by the vessel crews. And this is a short Sail Training International film which gives you a taster of what the races are all about. just learned just now that the 2 trainees that were climbing the rigging there were Shetland trainees, I think on the Statsroad Lemco. The Tall Ships Races is a great fit for Shetland. It's a major event where the participants bring their beds with them, so there's no capacity constraint. For us, it's a great opportunity to show what Shetland can do. We also now have a far bigger audience, as we'll be able to be online and live stream from the event. So there's plenty to look forward to, and there's also plenty to do. The event truly is a partnership with a focus on young people, building community strength, and benefits to the economy matched by an enjoyable festival. It's an excellent opportunity to showcase Shetland as a great place to visit, to live, to work, and to invest in our welcoming community. For 2023, Lerwick is the 4th port out of 5 in the race series. The races will start in early June in Den Helder, and each host port has 4 days for a festival. Lerwick's dates are from Wednesday the 26th to Saturday the 29th of July. It starts with a race from Den Helder to Hartlepool, then a race from Hartlepool to Fredrikstad in eastern Norway, then a cruising company from Fredrikstad to Lerwick, and a final race to Arendal in southern Norway. The cruising company line between Fredrikstad and Shetland is a non-competitive leg where the vessels can plan their own route and visit guest harbours along the way. The cruise is 8 days long, so there are opportunities for other communities in Shetland, Orkney, the north of Scotland, and the Norwegian coast to be involved if they wish. Guest harbours on the cruising company can stipulate how many vessels they can accommodate, and they can provide anything from simply a free berth to perhaps an overnight stay, or if they want their own community entertainment, featuring the visiting cruise. That will be a separate engagement with the guest harbours in due course. So that's the 2023 route. Some of our team will be visiting one of the host ports this coming summer. It'll be interesting to see how they find the arrangements now, especially with the fleet, with all the challenges everybody's faced because of COVID. And of course, we'll be doing lots of risk assessments and scenario planning as we continue to come out of the pandemic. As I said, it's great to be able to look forward to the tall ships returning next summer, and we'll be working hard to make it a safe, enjoyable event. That's enough from me. You can keep an eye out for our new website that'll be coming soon, and I'll hand you over to Melanie Henderson from Sail Training Shetland.
Okay, thank you, Sandra, for setting the scene, and thank you all for coming today, and for those that are tuning online today to hear more about what we do. Sail Training Shetland was formed as a charity in 2009 and is a collaboration between the Swan Trust, Lerwick Port Authority and Shetland Tall Ships Ltd. The committee is made up of 9 volunteers who give their time freely, and we have no paid staff. The organisation was set up to provide a legacy for the last tall ships event to promote sail training in the Isles and to prepare for the return of the tall ships event that we are focusing on now. Each year, we organise and promote sail training adventures for young people aged between 15 and 25 from all over Shetland and from elsewhere to take part in sailing experiences and events on a variety of ships. So what is sail training? Well, it's not the traditional boating club type experience that might spring to mind. When we say sail training, we don't really mean learning to sail. Instead, we use the experience of ocean sailing as part of a team to open up new skills, challenges and discovery for the young people taking part. They don't have to have any previous experience. In fact, it's better that way because they learn to push themselves out of their comfort zone by trying new things and learning so much about themselves in the process. Sail training combines lots of the components of other outdoor adventure activities such as overcoming challenges to achieve goals, working as a team, being isolated for the outside world and learning new skills, but with factors that can potentially make the impact stronger. The specific challenges and unique physical environment created by sail training provides a distinctive experience. For all the young folk we support, the main aim is to inspire positive change through the adventure, challenge and experience of sail training. It's about giving them the chance to improve and advance their life skills, knowledge and personal development, and increasing their chances of getting paid employment, improving their conditions of life and helping to develop their physical and mental capacities. It also provides a medium that helps them grow as valuable members of our community, applying their unique experiences to family and island life situations when they return. Sail training is an adventure that they are meant to remember for the rest of their life. So far, we have supported around 250 young people to have a sail training experience. We aim to make them available to as many as possible from all backgrounds. It is by nature physically demanding, but it is very accessible and there's a ship for almost everyone and all abilities. We work closely with the Swan and we have links with other tall ships in the fleet to offer different experiences on a variety of vessels and larger vessels, for example, Statstrad Lemcool. Swan offers a close-knit, nurturing environment really suited to the younger trainees, where we can also involve previous trainees as volunteers and crew members to support them on their voyages. For the older ages, the trips we offer require them to have a degree of self-reliance for getting to and from their ship, which helps them to develop their independence, teamwork and communication. We are a not-for-profit, so every possible source of funding is explored to help reduce the cost of taking part and make it accessible to as many as possible. We organise and pay for all the logistics, travel, insurances, ship bookings and promotional kit. We have some amazing sponsors that back us every year, and we simply couldn't offer these experiences without those generous business sponsors, but also grants, online donations, help at fundraising events and in-kind support given. We're keen to hear from anyone that has an interest to get involved and can see the benefit of developing young people. But we've set ourselves a big challenge ahead to fund trainees from across our whole community for the next Tall Ships event. The Tall Ships race is coming to Shetland as a massive attraction and there's already huge interest from young people to be involved. We've set ourselves an ambitious target to recruit and support 20 folk this year and 75 next year, which is our biggest fundraising and recruitment drive so far. We want to encourage young folk from the north of Scotland along the cruising company route to take part as well, so that we can create sail training links with our neighbouring communities. It is such an incredible experience for the young people involved. For most, it's a completely life-changing experience. Throughout the years, I've seen firsthand the impacts and heard so much positive feedback from the young people, but also the parents who have seen huge differences when they return from their voyages. The young people that take part really are the lifeblood of these magnificent ships. They enjoy lifelong friendships and awesome experiences through the personal challenges they face. It is hugely satisfying to have followed the life journeys of the trainees as they apply their skills learned through their trips, and then we see what they go on to do afterwards. I'm seeing painfully shy young ones tap into newfound confidence to become great leaders, given their time and knowledge to bringing on other trainees. I've seen others who didn't know what they wanted to do in life find a love for the experience and turn that passion into a career at sea. I remember one parent telling me that their son just walked taller when he came home, and another said it removed her daughter's fear of leaving home for university. Just imagine what that could do and what kind of doors that could open for other ones to compare. Whether they go on to find a career at sea or not, it doesn't really matter. It's all about the taking part and gaining valuable and transferable personal skills that will set them up for life. I'm really keen to show you a story now from Anya Kurtz, who has sailed with us before. I hope you want to get on board with us and the young folk we support after hearing more about it today. Thank you.
My time with sail training in Shetland started when I was 16. I applied for a trip going across Scandinavia and back over to Shetland, and I loved every second of it. It was truly, truly amazing.
This is a very exciting time for Shetland as we're about to be centre stage for the global sailing community. The things trainees can get out of this is meeting folk from all over the world, lifelong friendships, pushing themselves and gaining new skills that even can further on to a career at sea. And this is made possible by the support from the local community.
So this trip really gave me a different outlook on things and made me realise that a career at sea is maybe something that I would like. So I then applied for a job down in Cornwall, and I'm lucky enough to have gotten the post. I honestly feel if it was not for Sail Training Shetland, none of this would have been possible for me. I learned so much, I was able to travel, and I've met so many brilliant people over the years, and for that I'm really grateful to them.
The Tall Ships event will enable young people to have these amazing life-changing experiences. From all of us at Sail Training Shetland, thank you so much for the financial support to make this event possible.
And now I'd like to hand you over to Emma Miller, the project manager from Shetland Tall Ships Ltd.
Thanks, Melanie. It was really interesting to hear the kind of background to sail training and what it's all about. As Melanie said, my name's Emma Miller. I'm the project manager for the Tall Ships coming to Shetland next year, and I'm very much looking forward to the planning process. I'm really pleased to have the chance to speak to you all today, those of you who are able to come along in person and everybody that's joining us online as well. We're working with a range of partners in the planning of the event. That includes Sail Training International, Shetland Islands Council, Lerwick Port Authority, Event Scotland, Sail Training Shetland, the Swan Trust, the young people who are involved as trainees, and today hoping to get some of you involved as the business community as well. In the planning of the event, we have a fairly comprehensive host port contract with Sail Training International, which sets out the requirements that we have to deliver for a safe and secure event. Some of these include showers, toilets and laundry facilities for all the crew that are visiting, and that might be up to 2,000 people across the different quayside sites. We're also required to provide free berthing facilities, which we do with the support of Lerwick Port Authority. As Melanie mentioned, we have an obligation to provide trainees to join the fleet, and our goal this year, or sorry, for next year, is 75 young people, which is a really ambitious target. We'll also deliver a range of activities for the ship's crew that come here so they can experience and explore what Shetland has to offer. Other obligations are to provide the formal captain's dinner and a more informal but equally as important crew party to give the crews that are coming a chance to let their hair down and meet the crews on the other ships. One of the other things we also do is the crew parade, which is something that the community really come out in force to support and enjoy. As well as that, there's the provision of an extensive and inclusive public event programme of entertainment and ways of enabling the community to engage with the fleet and the event overall. It's a huge amount of work, and there's going to be a massive requirement for goods and services in the planning. So to deliver all this, it is an extensive planning process, as I say, and we're very much seeking to use local goods and services wherever possible. It's better for our economy, it's better for our community, and it's better for the environment if we're not having to trail things up and down off the mainland if we don't need to. We'll also be recruiting a large number of volunteers. That'll get underway later in the summer, but already folk are coming forward. I mean, there's no week that goes by that I don't get an email or a phone call from somebody who wants to sign up and take part. It's great. I think many of the liaison officers that were involved last time were just so fully immersed in the whole experience that a lot of them want to come back already, so it's great. Some businesses last time and hopefully this time also allowed staff members to take a couple of days of paid leave to volunteer for the event, either as a liaison officer or one of the other roles that we have. So that's possibly something to think about for your company. We'll also be really glad to hear from anyone that's got any particular skills that might want to sit on some of our voluntary committees. We have 7 subcommittees with a range of various headings which will oversee the planning and allow other people to kind of contribute to the process as well. So that's things like a transport committee, we have a liaison committee, a committee that will shape and oversee the social programme. It's a really, a great way to just to get involved. So we'll look at some of the other ways that businesses can get involved. Actually, on the site during the event, there'll be opportunities for traders to have a sales or an information pitch on the key event sites. That'll be a great opportunity for local sellers and producers. We'll be offering opportunities to purchase licenses to to produce and to sell branded Tall Ships merchandise, which is always really popular with people for mementos. There'll also be opportunities for companies to hire the deck of a tall ship, maybe for a staff party or to entertain potential clients. This is something that's also offered in amongst our sponsor benefit packages, so I'll come on to that in a while. In terms of service requirements, there's going to be a huge amount of things that we need to buy and arrange goods and services, and we're hoping that we'll be able to work with the local business community to provide these. Just to run through a few of them, freight services is obviously going to be quite important. We won't be able to source everything here, so we are going to need freight services to bring things to Shetland, but also to move things around within the event sites once they're here. There'll be a number of on-site trades required during the set-up and take-down of the event. So we'll need an army of plumbers, electricians and labourers and other on-site staff. Site facilities and services includes things like generators, fuel, refuse disposal and cleansing. At the end of the day, we need to keep the sites clean. There'll be a requirement for some ship services, so things like wastewater removal, assistance with repairs or any additional equipment that the ships might require while they're in port. Security is obviously really important to make sure that we keep all the people who are going to be attending the event safe and that the event goes off without any problems. Catering and bar provision will be an important service required as well, and this isn't just the bars and the event sites. This will be the public provision, but also the provision for the host port contract requirements, so a bar at the captain's dinner and the crew party. We'll have fairly extensive transport requirements, both internal and external. Most, if not all of the ships will have crew changeovers while they're in Shetland, and the crew who are joining the ship need to get here and the crew who are leaving the ship need to get home. Internally, we'll have a requirement for a park and ride service and also transport for the crews to be able to get out and take part in the activities around Shetland. In regard to the crew activities, we will also need people to help provide that. So that may be tour guides to take people out and around to see the sites, but also sporting and cultural activities. We'll need suppliers for that as well. Accommodation and venues. Obviously, we'll have the two main event sites at Holmesgarth and Victoria Pier, but we'll also have a requirement for additional venues. I'm quite sure Marie will be one of those, and other places as well. Accommodation, we know, is always a premium in the summer months anyway, and as Sandra mentioned, thankfully most of the crew will be bringing their own beds with them, which is a help. But there will be a number of people who will have to come here in terms of contractors, but also visiting friends and family and visitors who just want to come and enjoy the event as well. Printing and production will have fairly extensive requirements for large and small signage, printed leaflets and the public event programme, even down to things like T-shirts for the liaison officers and other volunteers. Filming, photography and streaming. The streaming is more of a kind of new aspect from the last time. The whole visual aspect is so much more important now to be able to share the event and the experience with the outside world and those who can't be here. So that's going to be a really important service provision. It really is a huge amount of input that's going to be required. So to fund all of this, we need additional support. We're looking for a partnership approach across the public and private funding. We have got core funding, but we're seeking additional sponsorship, either in kind or in cash. We're really keen to show an international audience what Shetland is capable of in terms of large-scale event delivery. And we hope that our aims can align with what businesses are also seeking to promote for themselves and their involvement with the event. We've secured significant public funding already from Shetland Islands Council and Event Scotland. with additional in-kind contributions confirmed from Lerwick Port Authority and Sail Training Shetland. Last time in 2011, we had around 60 local and national companies providing sponsorship of some kind. And for 2023, we have a sponsorship target of 500,000. We appreciate every offer of sponsorship that people are able to make, whether that's cash or in kind and of any value at all. We're committed to ensuring that we offer a comprehensive range of benefits in return for whatever people are able to offer. So some of those benefits include partnership promotion of the company. So our team will work with you or your marketing team to agree the key messaging and use our networks and social channels to actively and positively promote your business. There'll be blogs and live streaming in the lead up to and during the event, online and print branding promotional opportunities. All of these things will highlight your business's commitment to corporate social responsibility by supporting this fantastic community event, which is based on a sustainable activity and encourages the education, training and development of young people. So it's a really positive message for everybody involved. Other benefits include deck hire and catering. So as I mentioned before, the opportunity to have hire of a deck on one of the tall ships, either for entertaining your clients or your staff or even a family party if you really want to. There'll be VIP passes available to some of the events, certainly for the public events and with some of the kind of higher level sponsorship packages, more the closed events such as the Captain's Dinner as well. Benefits can also include the provision of a quayside booth or sales stand. So obviously you get the footfall traffic in high traffic areas on Holmesgarth or Victoria Pier. And there are also limited opportunities for main event site branding. So if you want to be the main sponsor of one of the entertainment venues and public sites. Nominating a placement aboard a tall ship as well is a benefit that we can offer to a company. It will be based on availability for the ships, but you can have the chance to give a young person the amazing life-changing experience of actually having a sail training journey aboard one of the ships. Or potentially during the cruising company, nominate yourself or a member of your staff to go and have the experience. So what's the financial expectation? We have 4 levels of sponsorship tiers, and they come with a range of benefits. Now, the Admiral's deck is an ambitious £100,000, and we understand that is a huge amount of money. They are a really limited number. We don't have many of those to offer because of the benefits that we're offering in return there. The other levels are the Captain's deck at £25,000, the Officer's deck at £10,000, and the Cadet's deck at £3,000. There are additional items that can be purchased or can be added in to suit budgets as required, but understand that all of these are, they're flexible, they're negotiable. These are just a starting point. We understand that a lot of smaller businesses won't be able to manage any of these, and that's absolutely fine. We're just looking for businesses to support and be engaged, and we're looking for dialogue to discuss what's going to be suitable for your budgets and also for your expectations in return. Sponsor packs will be handed out just in a few minutes at the end of the presentation, and that'll have the details of all the different packages and contact information details on as well. We'll send those out to those of you who are joining us online by email, but if you want printed copies, then they can be picked up from the Tall Ships office at Albert Building as well. We'll be happy to arrange follow-up one-to-one meetings to discuss sponsorship, the provision of goods and services, or any requirements for deck hires or site rentals. Our technical manager, Derek Henry, is on hand at the back of the auditorium here if anybody's got any questions for him in terms of technical setup or service provision. We'd be really pleased to hear from firms that are looking to be involved in any of the ways that we've discussed today. All support is absolutely welcome and appreciated, whether it's your time, your expertise, or your hard cash. So I'd like to just leave you a short video to remind you of the tall ships in a local context. And just to say that myself and the team very much look forward to working with you in the plan and delivery of the 2023 tall ships races when they return to Lerwick.
This is a very exciting time for Shetland as we're about to be centre stage for the global sailing community.
I feel our island is a unique place with so much to offer, and I think the tall ships bring the perfect opportunity for us to showcase this to people from all around.
We have great facilities here in Lerwick, great quaysides and great onshore infrastructure that will make the event a fantastic spectacle for everybody.
It's 17 months until the event happens, and we already have almost daily inquiries from people who want to give their time and be involved in this fantastic event.
So we really can't wait to see you.
United!